couple of years ago, when I first started to hear talk in the business community about social media, I was very skeptical. In the beginning, I just couldn't connect the dots. I would look at Facebook or look at LinkedIn, and it just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And then along came Twitter, and I remember what my first reaction was when I went to Twitter's homepage and I saw this crazy stuff. And I saw stuff like Coffee Lover, and this girl was saying that she stayed up all night studying for her exams. Or I saw another one called Boston Jogger, and this guy was saying it's 7 a.m. and I'm off for today's run. And Bread Lady was describing how hot it was in her kitchen. And I'm going, what is this crap? Who needs this? I don't get it. Why does this matter? Well, and I asked myself, I thought, what are others seeing that I'm missing? And so I just started thinking about it, and it took 2 or 3 months before the light bulb went on inside my head. Having said all that, I have to tell you, the light bulb has gone on very brightly. I've become a very big believer in social media, and I believe in Twitter. Now today, there's a lot of people coming to Twitter. I mean, your customers are already there, whether you are or not. And Twitter is starting to make sense to a lot of business people. But I have to tell you, if your initial reaction to Twitter is that it is a wonderful thing, well, I think you may have flunked the IQ test. Your initial reaction to Twitter should have been, what is this crap? I don't know if that was your initial reaction. Don't feel bad. I think you're doing well. I know it sounds goofy to say that, but I think you got it. That's exactly what most people's reaction was in the beginning. Now, just for a minute, go back in time with me. Let's go back 30 years ago. I just bought my print shop. The year was 1983, and the very first sales call that someone made to my printing firm, to me as a new business owner, was somebody from the Fargo Chamber of Commerce. I'll never forget it. They made a cold call. It was another business person. He stopped in. He's a really nice guy, later become a good friend, customer. But he said to me, Mike, he said, I heard you're the new owner of Service Printers. That's what my print shop was called at the time. And he said, you need to join the Chamber of Commerce. And I'd heard of it, but I didn't even really know what the Chamber of Commerce was. And I said, well, what is it? Why do I join? And how would it help me? And he said, well, there's a lot of good reasons why you should join. But he said, the number one reason is so that you could come to business after hours. And the same thing, I didn't get it. I didn't know what business after hours was. And I said, well, how does that work? And he said, well, what you do is once a month, we all get together at some big hotel here in town in the convention room, and we all stand around, and all these business people come to business after hours once a month, and we shake hands, we get to know each other, and just talk about the weather and talk about the Minnesota Twins and the Vikings, and we talk about business a little bit, and we all go home. But he said you get to do a lot of networking, and you make some really good contacts. Well, you know what? I didn't get it. At the time, business after hours, as this young 20-something who was green and wet behind the ears, I thought business after hours sounded dumb. I thought I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the money to even join the Chamber of Commerce. And it just didn't make sense. Why would anybody want to just stand around and talk to a bunch of people about the Twins and the Vikings? And that's not going to sell printing. And I didn't really even understand the concept of networking. And I thought business after hours seemed dumb. And so I didn't do it. It took me a couple years to do it, and that was to my discredit. Well, later, of course, I became a big fan of business after hours, and I think we all are. I don't think any of us question what an effective sales and prospecting tool business after hours can be. It's a really, really good way to sell printing, build contacts, build relationships, and to build trust. I believe in business after hours. Okay, now here's where we have to connect the dots. Think of Twitter and think of business after hours. The two are very, very similar. Business after hours is a way for you to network, to shake hands, to introduce yourself, to begin to build trust, and to tell people about what it is that you do. You know what, guys? That's exactly the way it is with Twitter. It's the same thing, but instead of doing it in person at some hotel convention room, you do it online. You get to introduce yourself online. You get to build trust online. You develop relationships online. Twitter is like business after hours. Now, just for a couple of seconds, let's compare business after hours to social media marketing. Business after hours is outbound marketing. I mean, after all, you have to go to business after hours, but when you use social media, that's inbound marketing because your customers and prospects come to you. Business after hours is only available as a prospecting method for you for just a couple of hours every month. Social media is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. At business after hours, you might meet a dozen or a couple of dozen really good prospects, but social media is unlimited. You could meet dozens or hundreds or potentially even thousands of good prospects. At business after hours, month after month in your community, you're probably going to meet the same good prospects pretty much every month. But with social media, you're going to have an endless supply of new people that will get introduced to your printing firm through your website. Business after hours is moderately expensive. It does take time, effort, and money, and you have to buy nice clothes. Social media, on the other hand, is essentially free. It does take some time, but it's a very low-cost marketing method. Now, which of these marketing methods makes more sense? Well, honestly, I would suggest that you use both methods, but you can begin to see some of the tremendous advantages that Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and the other social media marketing tools bring to the table. Social media marketing may not be the only way to sell printing, but it is one of the best ways. It's almost free. It is very easy to start using social media marketing, and it will help your customers find you. Here's how we can help. If you really want to make it easy, let us be the content provider for your Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and blog pages. For $1.50 a day, about the cost of a bottle of soda pop, my company, The Buzz, will provide your printing firm with daily content for your social media marketing program. We'll send you fresh content every single day. It couldn't be easier, and it's one marketing opportunity that you can't ignore. I'm Mike Stevens. Thanks again for listening.